Friends, today's session is crucial if you are applying for a senior leadership role in your organization. There are questions which are shared by our members of our YouTube community who have attended different interviews at companies like KPMG, Deloitte, and Accenture. And this session is especially useful if you are a delivery manager or a AVP or a senior product manager or a experienced scrum master or a seasoned business analyst or a product owner. Friends, welcome to our channel Career Talk. I'm Sunan Sharma, a senior consultant based in Netherlands, and today we will discuss the most commonly asked digital transformation interview questions and answers. And who better than KARABI, who is a leading digital transformation in her organization and is popular face on our channel. We have already done a couple of sessions with her on the project management in the past. I would add all the links in the description, and I'm confident that after watching this session, you will definitely check out Karabi's other session. So, friends, before we start, to avoid missing out on any of our future session, please subscribe to our channel. And if you appreciate our quality content, please smash that like button and share your thoughts in the comment section. So, with this, let me welcome Karabi. Karabi, thank you for giving your time today. Karabi, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sunan, for having me once again. And as usual, Career Talk, it is kind of going great, right? You have a growing list of subscribers because all of us are leveraging from the tremendous amount of information and knowledge which the channel is providing and sharing to us via various expert talks and all. So it's a great platform basically for all of us to grow our knowledge. And thank you for having me once again.
Thank you, Karabi. So, if you allow, shall we start?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, the very first question, and I think is very important for all of us to know that what does digital transformation mean to you personally, and how do you define it in the context of modern business? So, if you are a leader, this will be, I'm sure, your very first question. Please go ahead, Karabi.
Sure, sure. So, let me tell you, there is no standard definition of digital transformation in the industry. Okay. So, due to the lack of standardization of the definition, I think all the companies, all the enterprises who have embarked on the journey of digital transformation, they have actually personalized it. The transformation, they have personalized it for their unique business environment to suit their purpose, to fit for their purpose, right? So, digital transformation for me personally, if you are asking this question, it means that uh, by doing something in a business, whether I'm changing the business model, the way that I'm transacting the business, uh, or probably the way the people are interacting with the business or doing something, I am able to bring a differential. I'm able to create a differential. Either I am expanding my market by say X percentage, or I am reducing manual processing time of some transactions by X percentage so that my overall efficiency improves, right? Or I am launching new product, new services. That's a new business line, right? Or I'm able to create some ancillary businesses, right? So any transformation, whether it's digital, physical, digital, whatever it is, it should always create some kind of a differential for the business or its people as well as for its customers. So that is what, in a very broad sense, digital transformation should mean to us.
Okay.
Over to you.
Yeah. So, I just want to add a couple of things over here, Karabi, if you allow me.
Yes, please.
So, I would say that when we talk about digital transformation, I think it's about letting go of your legacy thinking and to come up with a culture that thrives on innovation. So we should ask that, okay, how can we do this thing better, faster, and more meaningfully using our digital capabilities? So sometimes we forget to empower our teams to challenge the status quo and take some smart risks. Uh, Saying technology is not just like a cost center, but I would say if we can use it like a strategic enabler of the value, then it makes sense. So when we talk about digital transformation, specifically with this modern businesses which we have, I think it's about a holistic rethinking of how an organization deliver values, how they competes, how they operates, by of course leveraging all the digital technology, the data, and the customer centric mindset, which sometimes we forget. So it's not just about digitization, like converting paper to digital, but a reimagination of your business model, the processes, the culture. And when we talk about digital transformation and things like that, I would suggest that there are four important key attributes or a pillar I would suggest. First is like with respect to our customer experience. So they are using the data and the digital touch points to deliver any personalized or, as you mentioned, that anticipatory experiences and things like that. We forget about operational agility. Like we can automate different processes, we can integrate different systems, we can
Right,
leverage, of
right.
course, AI and things like that. Um, we should talk more about innovation in our business model. Like, can we explore some new revenue streams? Maybe, I don't know, maybe like a different subscription base or platform, or
Correct,
can we
correct.
enable the technology and things like that? And the lastly, of course, what kind of culture we have? Are we like dominating and we are pushing, or like it's about cost
Collaborative transparency, right?
collaborative, or it's about digital literacy, or it's about continuous learning? So I think we should also add, as a leader, as a human, I would say, all these aspects when we talk about digital transformation.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, if you want to add something, or yeah, on
No,
top
I
of
think
it.
I think this fits perfectly with the overall question. At the end of the day, whatever you do, whether it's digital or phygital, it is all about creating a differential for the business, for the customer, for the employees. It is all about creating the differential. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, let's move on to our question.
Next question.
So, why do you believe that the digital transformation is important for success and growth of any business today? And if you can also provide some examples of the impact it has on the businesses, that will be great.
Okay. So first, why it is important? I think this question is uh, digital transformation has become the foundation layer, right? Uh, See, there is a saying in our industry that a secular trend today will become a convention tomorrow. So when we talked about IoT about 5 or 7 years back, that was emerging. So what was emerging has become a necessity, the backbone. Right? So why digital transformation is required? It's because almost all the businesses around that we see, they are trying to reach to new customers. They are trying to launch new products, new services. They are trying to evolve as a business. And how will they evolve? Right? By capitalizing on tech. Right? By capitalizing on tech only, they are going to evolve. Now, the tech can be um information technology. That tech can be something more of a mechanical, right? So, whatever be it, they are evolving because they are capitalizing on technology itself. Hence, it is very important because all the businesses, whether it's small, medium, or large scale, they are trying to expand their footprints, right? They are trying to more and reach more and more geographies with newer products, newer services, bring in newer I will say ancillary components, complementary services, right? So that they can group all their products under one common category to increase their upsells or cross sells. So uh, I think the second part of the question, wherein you are asking uh, what examples that we can have in front of us, I think banks are the most visible example which everyone can understand. Like, I do not need to go to a bank to open a bank account nowadays. So that's a very visible example that we have. But let's take another side of the digital transformation and its profound impact that it had. It is to do with our manufacturing industry, right? So if you see the entire evolution of the manufacturing industry, first it was the steam engine, then it became electric engine, then we tried to capitalize on technical infrastructure, right? The internet and .com and everything. And now we are talking about connected devices, right? So from industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 to 4.0, we are now talking about smart devices, connecting devices. So the evolution of the manufacturing industry itself is a very, very visible and a good example of how digital transformation has been capitalized by the manufacturing sector to evolve their business, right? To make their business more people friendly. Uh, they can to basically, provide nature a chance by adopting cleaner energy consumption, right? By focusing on sustainability, by creating more employment. And remember, nowadays, the if you just see our world as such, the entire population of the world is kind of aging, right? So the more and more we are equipping our population with tech and with automation devices, it is better for us. So the example which, at least in this session, which I can give, which is very visible, is definitely one in banking, and the other one is in manufacturing. You have a good example in healthcare industry even, right? Telemedicine is now possible for what? It's because of the digital transformation, right?
So,
And robotic surgery, prosthetic arms. These are all direct or indirect examples of digital transformation, right? So I'm not talking about AI intentionally, because I think this is not the right question for me to talk anything about AI as of now. But digital transformation has had profound impact across all industries, and the impacts are felt by all of us in our even in our daily lives.
true. Okay, so just to add on top of it, of course, digital transformation is important for success and growth of business today, uh, for various reasons. And I would say one of the key reason is the consumer behavior. Uh, when we talk about digital transformation, it basically enable any organization to stay competitive, responsive, and relevant in this rapidly evolving digital world, which is again, we all know that how quickly the things are changing
Yes.
nowadays. So I would say that one of the key driver of this particular need is the change in consumer behavior. So today, customers expect seamless and personalized in a real-time experience. So whether they are shopping online, or they are accessing some services, or they are interacting with some brand across the social media, they prefer self-service options. So they need instant support, chatbots, or
Yes.
some
Yes.
frictionless transactions through your mobile apps or some digital wallets, right? So traditional models simply cannot meet these expectations without embracing digital tools and strategies.
Correct.
So
Correct.
all these digital transformation basically allow companies to improve their efficiency through automation, to make some smarter choices, some smarter decisions, use some data and analytics, innovate, innovate quickly by leveraging all these new technology we have, whether it's AI or cloud computing or IoT, right? And as you mentioned, couple of good examples. I just want to also add like one or two quick examples. So we all
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that this Netflix basically redefined their business model altogether. So they shift from
Correct. Correct.
DVD rental
Renting a video. Yeah.
to a that driven streaming platform, which is now a game changer, right?
Yes.
So now they deliver content tailored to individual viewers preferences. They have a lot of matrices, and you will
Yeah.
start getting those kind of movies and things like that. And other example is like Domino's. So once they are just a pizza chain, but
Hmm.
now they grew 100x by focusing on digital ordering. They are putting all these things on delivering tracking, your AI integration.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now they are 70% of the sales are coming from digital channels, right? Even in the manufacturing industry, as you mentioned, right? Those there are company like Siemens. So they are now using digital twin technology to optimize their operation and deliver some smarter and some productive services.
Yeah.
So it's happening. So I would say yes, it's one of the key driver is the consumer behavior, um, to become more digital, to become
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
mobile and become more personalized. And of course, business must transfer accordingly to meet these rising expectations, to stay relevant, and of course to unlock their 10x growth. So yeah, I think that I just want to add over here,
Yeah.
Arabi.
Yeah, maybe what I feel personally
Mhm.
is that tech has intruded our lives so much, right? It's an intrusion. It's a very intensive intrusion in our life, and the overall terrain of the tech has been evolving so much at such a high pace that whether we realize or not, we quickly adopt to a new tech, uh, just as you said, because driven by our consumer behavior, the way that we want to buy or sell or probably transact any
Mhm.
businesses, right? So yeah, it is the need of the hour, and we are there.
Wonderful, Karabi. Let's move on to our next question then.
Yeah.
So the third question is, in your opinion, what are the most critical elements that contribute to the success of a digital transformation initiative, and how would you going to prioritize them?
Okay, so I will combine these two questions into one, right? The so what are the elements that if I just want to request you, Sunand, if you can kindly reiterate the questions.
So, in your opinion, what are the most important factors or the elements that contribute to the success of a digital transformation initiative, and how you are going to prioritize all these elements or different steps?
Okay, so when you enter into an enterprise with the objective of initiating a digital transformation exercise, I think the first thing we need to understand is the inventory of the current tech landscape and an overall digital maturity of the enterprise, and the inventory of the people capabilities. All right. So these three things are kind of investigative in nature. Once we understand these three things, we need to understand from the leadership what is the overall strategic plan for this company for the next year, say, right? So whatever transformation initiatives which we are discussing or planning will have to align with that plan, right?
So,
Now, in order to do so, we have to be realistic as well. So there could be a short term tactical approach, and there could be a long term strategic approach. Okay.
mm-hmm,
Plus, we also need to set up the expectation of the leadership that transformation is not any end state, right? So once the company has set a baseline, they can expect to rebaseline the current processes, current business model again, probably next year. So it's going to evolve as much as the size or the growth of the company is evolving. And these two things are very, very critical for any interviewee who is interviewing for a leadership position towards digital transformation. This is a very, very profound realization that we need to understand. When a company scales up, it is okay for them to embark on the journey of transformation. But if we understand that the company has reached a plateau for some of the macroeconomic reasons or whatever be the reason, right? It is extremely important to focus on the tactical solution rather than creating a North Star. Okay. Because I'm particularly talking about the SMB companies who are into manufacturing, right? Most of these companies, they capitalize on tech just to transact their daily business. And that's fine because that's the way they have been running their organization, right? But the moment these companies, they scale up, they experience a growth in their customer base, they experience a growth in their new product lines, they are reaching a new geographical market, something else, they will understand that there is this structural inflexibility which has crept in the organization, because they have been so long capitalizing mostly on the homegrown siloed solutions, as opposed to taking an end-to-end overview of the enterprise core systems requirement, right? So the approach should be is first to take a stock of the inventory of the current tech landscape, understand the current people capabilities, understand the growth that is happening, say year on month on month, and how confident the management is that the growth is not going to get reduced, it is going to enhance going forward. So that confidence should be there, right? And then we need to focus on the strategic objective of the company. After we do the investigative research on these 4 or 5 areas, we then sit with the HODs of different departments to understand what is the area, if we solve that somehow, they are going to experience growth, either in terms of reducing manpower, either in terms of cutting down or their manual processing time, administrative time, or probably by taking in more customers, or launching new products, or as you rightly said, doing something more innovative. So out of 4 5 issues, the HODs are asked to prioritize one key issue. By solving that, they are going to that is going to have a very high impact on the business, not at the department level but in the enterprise level. When we aggregate all the feedback from all the various functional units, we analyze what is the low hanging fruit and what is the most impactful, but uh, I think resource intensive uh, area that has emerged from this discussion, right? And then do an analysis. By analysis, I don't mean Moscow and other stuff. By analysis, I mean do an analysis on the cost of delay. Okay? The cost of delay, if you do not do this right now, what is it that is cost you? Where is the impact that's happening? It is very important. Sometimes the cost of delay is a huge fee to any compliance authority for some regulatory reason. It's a huge cost. In that case, although it is not directly impacting your growth, but still, in order to remain compliant, transformation initiative is needed in that area. So when someone is analyzing out of all the feedback which we have received from focus group discussions with the HODs, what is the low hanging fruit and what is the high cost, high impact area that we need to understand? We devise a plan to focus on the short term and on the long term, right? To focus on the short term, it is better not to invest in a high cost tech infrastructure. Rather, as much as possible, capitalize on the existing infrastructure and existing people. And remember, by focusing on the tactical objective, what we are doing, we are creating a positive employee experience, which means that when at a time you are poised to bring in a huge change, there you will expect a little less resistance.
Oh.
Okay, so these are what I have learned by undergoing through the transformation initiatives. There are much more to it. But for this interview, just to kind of sum up, so do a digital maturity, understand and identify the areas, both the tactical and the strategic, understand the strategic objective, and then focus on the tactical objective and create a plan wherein you can, by incremental or modular way, you can reach your long term plan. Okay, so those are the 4 or 5 things which I have learned. uh, Over to you, Sunat.
Thank you, Karabi. I think you have explained in detail, so I don't want to add anything on top of it. So I'm thoroughly enjoying this session. And friends, we are halfway through this session. And if you are finding value in this content, take a moment to hit that like button. It really supports all the effort we put in. And if you're not subscribed yet, you are missing out on powerful career boosting content. So please subscribe,
Yes.
browse our channel. You will find tons of valuable content. And of course, if you'd like to be part of our discussion and job groups, I would suggest to join our membership. We have small amount so that only the serious people can join over there. You can just click the join button and you will be there. Okay, enough promotion. Let's get back to the session. So, Karavi, shall we move to the next question?
Yes, please.
Thank you. So, the next question is, if you were, let's say, given this uh, task to implement a digital transformation, so what steps would you include in your action plan, and how would you ensure that should be aligned with the complete overall business objective?
Okay, so I think the first part of the question was already answered more or less
Yeah,
on my earlier question. uh, I will just focus on the second part of it, right? The how part of it. How do we remain
yeah.
focused and dedicated? That, right. So I think a structured communication plan is critical to the success of a transformation exercise, right? So, identification of the stakeholders, and then understanding their a common ground wherein we can have a common platform, whether it's monthly or it's once in 2 months, whatever it is, to provide them with regular updates of what is happening and what are the blockers. Not only that, for any transformation exercise which has been taken up for any functional area, whether it's purchase, whether it's sales, whether it's finance, it is very critical to engage the stakeholders since the beginning. One thing which we need to understand that tech adoption and digital transformation, although they have some overlaps, but they are distinct from each other. Okay, so if we are seeing in a company that there is a low tech adoption among its users, that situation need to be handled in a very different way, as opposed to when you are re-engineering a process, or probably there is a evolved business situation which needs to be taken care by some tech. Okay, so tech adoption and transformation are kind of distinct. And the other thing, aside the regular communication, is to keep the stakeholders engaged and interested. It is a very, very tricky way, right? When an IT company they embark on a digital transformation initiative, what I have experienced is they try to introduce a new product, a new services, right? And it is an air which is created as it seems that that new product is going to solve magically the real business problems. Trust me, it is definitely not so.
Mm,
No amount of, you know, si- I mean, brain or a very, very good product which we are having in the market today, they cannot take away the emerging and the evolving business situation. So transformation is actually evolutionary, right? So, and any digital transformation in a business should be, and it must be, led by the business users. Tech will be an enabler. It is a facilitator. Okay. Uh, Again, I will bring in my experience of manufacturing sector. Okay. So manufacturing company, if they have been managing their business with even low cost solutions, say Tally or SAP B1 or even Microsoft Dynamics, if they are a medium sized business, but they have not subscribed to M365. They have not subscribed to, I don't know, Google Workspace. They have been working just like that. But when they are growing, when they are keeping on adding people, they are increasingly feeling the need to have a secure environment, to get all the appropriate authentication, authorization in place for their people, for the endpoints, for endless devices, right? So in those situations, it's a very, very long term way that they have to bring in some kind of an authentication and authorization product or a system, whether it's Okta, whether it's Eddie or whatever it is, right? But till now, they have not done that and they have been managing that without realizing that it is a huge security issue. Without realizing it's a huge, huge security issue. So if security is a risk for that company, we'll have to understand that. It may so happen, it may not be a risk. They don't even consider this as a risk. They consider a risk when they think that their field sales team, they are unable to bring in the order at a real time to their production team. That is a pain area for them. Why? Because they feel that they are losing market to the competitor. So we'll have to understand if the field sales team, they are equipped with some kind of a mobile sales app or not. If they are equipped with that mobile sales app and they can push forward the sales real time from the field to the back end, that in itself is a digital transformation for that organization. Why? Because they are doing the business in a new way, not by phone, not by following any traditional channel of sales. So honestly, since there is no standardized benchmark of digital transformation, so it is very unique to that particular company, to that particular entity. So when you say how we are going to you know monitor, control, and provide an oversight to that, I think a regular and a structured communication, engaging with the correct stakeholders, above all, making the business accountable for the transformation. If it is the IT vendor who is just showing a great product demo and then identifying the system gaps and then tweaking the system and then deploying, creating a support team, and then they are exiting, tech adoption could be high. People might be adopting to the tech, but transformation in its truest sense may not happen because they will still be struggling in capturing the order from the field sales. Even their payroll area, the HR area can be a pain area for them. Might be their performance appraisals are not happening on time, and might be there is a high churn of people. So along with the tech, which the HR system and tool providing the payroll and all the stuff, it is the people transformation which is also fundamental to the success criteria of any transformation exercise, right? So I think it is extremely important, as I'm kind of reiterating, I understand, because a lot of users are leveraging on your channel, that do not always focus on the long term goal. Focus on the tactical goal as well, because in this way, you are doing away with the people resistance when you actually need them to champion for the transformation. that is going to be fit for purpose for its strategic objective. Okay.
I agree. Yeah, wonderful, Karabi. Thank you for that elaborated answer. But then we have to time box it, and we have to let's go to our next question.
Sure.
So I'll take last question of the day. That what do you see as the primary challenges or issues or obstacles that business face during the digital transformation, and most importantly, like how we are going to address or mitigate all these challenges?
In my experience, I have not seen any standard challenge. So like I cannot say that this challenge is kind of very standard, but there is a common challenge which we all know, which is the people challenge, right?
The
The
culture,
the culture,
the mindset.
the mindset. So the pace with which the tech landscape is evolving, it's changing. Our way of doing things, because we always personalize our work, right? When we come to the office, our way to do things, they do not change necessarily at that pace. By that time, the macroeconomic condition has changed, but I have not changed. I know the change has come, but I'm okay. I'm good with this. So, a cultural change is one of the common challenges which we all face. How to navigate that? There are uh, so many rules, and so many framework and so many things. But when I'm talking to you right now, uh, I know my content will be consumed by a lot more users. I will give you, or rather share with you, my practical experience. I think appealing to people's uh, emotional sense, right? It is one of the hardest, but it is still the best way to induce a cultural change. Okay. If you just follow a framework, and if you say, okay, the first step is this, the second step is this, and this is what you need to do, and on this date, this is the cutoff. Now you have to adopt this as a cutover. It's a transition. It is not transformation. Transformation is internal, it is very, very profound. The only way you can induce a transformation to adopt a newer way of doing business is to appeal not only to the rational part of the brain, but to the emotional part of the brain as well. That's where the experts in communication, in organizational psychology, right? They come into the picture. So that is all that I have to share with you for this particular question.
Thank you, Karabi. Wonderful. Yeah, just to add very quickly, to talk about cultural resistance, I would say. So yes, I totally agree that transformation require people to change how they work, and which can lead to fear or some pushback. So I would say to mitigate this, have the communication, the clear communication about why behind the change. Maybe we can involve all these employees early in the process, can build that kind of culture that reward the innovation and learning. And of course, you mentioned about the leadership must model the desired mindset, right? And they should actively support the team through all these transition, because transitions, whatever the transition, it's always difficult. uh, One more challenge which I have seen is some of the time we are working on some outdated legacy systems or outdated technology, right? That can slow the progress, or
Oh,
maybe
yes.
sometimes, so we have to address them carefully, because we have to balance between the modernizing the core system and integrating some new digital tools. So I would say a phased approach. Maybe we can start with some modular upgrades or some cloud migration, and then we can invest in some, let's say, in API or other integration platforms. So that can help the this transition without disrupting the business continuity. So I would say this is again one of the challenge which most of the time we face when we do have the large scale of transformations. And I would say the third thing which I find is uh, finding and having that talent, and there are the skill gaps which we have. So
Yes, yes.
finding and retaining an employee with the right digital skill is a challenge. It's very challenging, and I would say to overcome this, maybe we can combine some external hiring with upskilling and reskilling our existing team members, and our existing staff. So that can encourage a learning culture, and maybe we can partner with some different training providers, or someone who can accelerate this capability building within an organization. So I would say these are, yeah, one or two more key points perhaps which we can add into this.
Oh,
Of
yes,
course,
yes.
as you mentioned about the security concerns, data management and things like that. So of course those are there. There is one more thing on a change management part. So even with the great technology, yeah, I mean we face if user don't adopt it. So we have to embed this change management into the transformation. We should provide the training, the support, the feedback mechanism, right? We should celebrate some quick wins, and maybe we
Yeah,
should demonstrate some real business benefits. So that can help to build that momentum. So yeah, these are the just few one or two small points, Karabi,
yeah.
I
I
just want
want
to
to
add.
add one thing to this, Sunand. You have very rightly hit the chord. You know why we resist, right? It is very deep internal feeling of ours. Either we feel that we are going to get redundant, or we have a fear of, fear from insecurity, right? Fear from facing too much competition at our work, which we do not want to face, right? And fear of redundancy is, of course, it's there. So I have seen organizations who are very, very mature. They have actually started with upskilling of their present workforce, as opposed to started off with the brainstorming as to what to do with the transformation strategy. So first comes is the people transformation, then probably the digital transformation. And you rightly said, it's a blend of existing and new talents. It's a blend, right? But in today's market, it is a very, very volatile, insecure market, and the fear in us runs deep. So enterprises, they have to be very, very cautious and mindful. And I'll tell you one thing: there are people who are very, very talented, very, very experienced, but they are shying away from joining good roles wherein innovation comes first, thought leadership
True,
comes first,
true.
because they understand that the enterprise is very, very volatile. So, overall, what is happening is the business is losing its actual talent force. Okay.
So
So, upskilling, cross skilling, I think it can be one of the first step even before someone thinks of uh, embarking on a digital transformation initiative.
thank you, Karabi, and thank you for being present today. And friends, my humble request, it takes a lot of effort to create quality content like this. So you can show your appreciation by liking, by commenting, by sharing this valuable session within your professional network or on your LinkedIn. Please spread the knowledge. Your supports means a lot. And of course, part two is coming soon. So don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you all in the next session. Thank you. And thank you, Karabi, one more time.
Thank you so much, Sunil. Thank you.